We are doing two different sections today. We're not doing all of 4.1. There's no reason to. 4.1 is, for the most part, just a review. I'm going to jump into 4.2 to really kind of bring it home, okay? So I'm going to give you some notes that go along with 4.2, but they're actually coming from 4. Just follow my lead. Okay, so 4.2 is properties. So we're skipping 4.1 is what I'm saying, or combining, you could say. Properties of inequality. There's no reason to spend an entire day on 4.1. Just trust me on that. All right, what we're talking about here are inequalities. Someone raise their hand and tell me what an inequality is. Chat?
It's like the greater than.
Exactly. We're talking like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. Okay, that is, like I said, this is a kind of refresher course. Okay. See, I'm skipping through a whole bunch of stuff from chapter 1 and going straight to the end of chapter 1. Then we start chapter 2. Not chapter 2, 4.1. Y'all get what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if we're graphing on a number line, this is when we are graphing inequalities on a number line. Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. So my class that had me last year, I'm not saying that my 3 newbies have never seen this before, but I want to make sure the students that had me last year, because I know what they learned, remembers this. Miranda.
I probably know it. I just.
Why me?
You're my victim, Miranda.
Oh, I remember this.
If I'm graphing on a number line,
Oh no.
I'm using circles.
The colored circle. I hate it.
There you go. We're using open and closed
Yes.
circles. You remember that, Matthew?
It confused
Okay.
me.
It is sometimes confusing. Now, watch. You need to put this down in your notes, especially if you may have or may not have forgotten this. So you graph on a number line with circles. Bless you, Valeria. Did you sneeze? Okay. I could tell by your mask and your eyes. Okay. If it's less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, Miranda, is it open or closed? Very good. It's a closed circle because it's including whatever number we're talking about. And I'm going to give you examples. So you will always use a closed circle then. So if it's a less than or greater than but not equal to, it's an open circle because it's not also including that number. If it wasn't COVID, if we're not in the middle of a pandemic, I always have my students stand up and they get in a circle and we demonstrate this as a closed circle of students or open circle of students if it's including the number or not including the number. But in this case, we're just going to have to do some examples.
Why can't you just have like a desanitizing thing
where we
square
Just
and
spray
then you go into
Lysol.
it and then it like
That kills
disinfects it?
99.9%.
Okay, I'm not spraying my students with Lysol. I'm glad the video is recording me saying that. Okay, so no, we're not spraying each other with Lysol or injecting bleach. We don't do that. All right, so for example, let's say do y'all have all this down?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the inequality sign looks like this, less than and equal to or greater than equal to, we're going to graph it with a close. If it's less than or greater than, we graph it with open. Keep in mind when we're doing this, it's replacing that equal sign. So we're going to be doing some like intruder alerts and stuff like that. But it's the same process, but we're just replacing that equal sign with a greater than,
You're
inequality.
doing the intruder alert to get your answer.
Yep, we're isolating the variable. But look, this is easy. Y is less than 7. What that is saying, boys and girls, is that Y can be any number less than 7. So give me some examples. Raise your hand. Valeria, you held up 5. Oh, wait, what? 2. I'm sorry, I thought she was doing this. 5. That was her raise her hand. 2 or 5 is less than 7. Matthew? 4 is less than 7. Chat.
-5.
-5 is less than 7. It can be, decimals or something, but it's saying that Y can be any number less than 7. Can it be 7? No. Keith, why not?
Why? Because 7 ain't less than 7.
Well, also because you don't see an equal to. If it could be 7, it would have less than or equal to. So we would graph it like this. So I would have and I don't do all the numbers on there. That'd take us forever. So I'm doing my number like this. Franz, you are writing the same thing. So Franz, with this inequality sign, is it going to be an open or closed circle?
Open.
Very good. It's open. Do you see that, guys? All right, so Valeria, it says it's less than 7. So do I put the open circle over +7 or -7?
-7.
Oh, see, I said that wrong. Let's just look at this. Is that a positive or negative? So then we're going to put it over here. That's my fault because of the way I said it. We're putting it over the +7.
You don't put it over here.
You put the circle over +7. Now, it says Y can be any number less than. So which way do I shade? Valeria is showing me, yes, it shades this way. Now, in your book, and other teachers will have you put it right over the number line. I put it on top like this just so that you can see it better. It's up to you. It's not a rule or anything. You can do it either way. Any questions about this? The biggest mistake, chap, wake up, is that it's hard to know which direction sometimes to do the arrow. You got to kind of sit there and think about what it's asking. Let's do another one. Y is greater than or equal to -2. All right. So let's see. Sophia, thank you for volunteering. I'm putting my little number line, which you are too, Franz.
I am.
Thank goodness. Now, Sophia, first thing you need to look at is this going to be an open or closed circle?
Close.
You are correct because, see, it's greater than or equal to this time. So it's closed. Now, this is saying Y can be any number greater than or equal to -2. So give me some numbers that are greater than -2. Miranda? 2 is greater than -2.
-1.
-1 is greater than -2.
23.
23, 0, etc.
Google.
Can't-
-2 also be because it's equal to.
It could be -2. It can also be -2 because it's equal to. So where would I put the circle, New? Oh, there you go. And it's saying Y is greater than, so I'm having it go this direction. Oh, I should have asked someone to tell me that. So Y is any number greater than -2. I tell my students all the time, there's no trick to this. Kids think they know there's a trick. Like, for example, oh, well, look, Miss Rogers, the little arrow's going this way, so this is going this way. Oh, look, the arrow's going this way, so that this arrow goes that way. Don't live by that. Because there are going to be times when you're doing your math that the Y is going to be over here and the number is going to be over here. or in your book it's going to be switched, and it's not going to work out all the time. I'm telling you now, so you need to sit and think, what is it asking? And I always tell my students to, once you have the number line, if it says greater than -2, pick some numbers on the number line. Like y'all were saying, +2 right here, -1 right here, 0, and then draw your line according to those. That would be a good method of knowing which direction the arrow goes. Okay, I know it's Monday and you're tired. How about x is not equal to 4?
Not equal.
Not equal to 4.
So would there be a minus there?
No. This one's tricky. So Morgan, if x, what this is saying, Matthew, is that x can be any number
Above or below?
but 4. So x is not equal to 4. So it's basically saying it can be any number, but it can't be 4. So Morgan, what would the circle look like first of all?
Close.
Is it including 4?
No.
No, it's not. So would it be open or closed?
Open.
It's going to be open circle because we're not including 4. And where would I put it, Morgan?
Over
+4. And where would I do my arrows?
4. Both ways.
Both ways.
Maybe like 4.5 if you had decimal.
Yeah. It can be any number. Yeah, it can be
So
4.1 even.
4.000001?
Yes. It can be anything but 4 itself. And this is how it would look. So make sure you have this in your notes because you will see this again.
And if it's not equal to, if it's that sign, it's always open.
That's right. Because the only time it's closed is if we're also including that number. And if this was x equals 4, then it would look like this. If it was x equals 4, and we had to put that on a number line, first of all, that's not an inequality. It would just be a closed circle and no arrows because x only equals 4. So it'd be a closed circle and no arrows. X does not equal 4. It's open circle because it can't include that, and it's any number but 4. Any questions? Fabuloso. All right,
So
let's.
if it has a line through the equal sign, that means it's not anything but.
Correct. If it has a line through there, that means it's not equal to that. It is anything but that number. Does that make sense? Make sure you have this written down, guys. Matthew, you got it? You sure I can wait? Valeria, you got it? Miranda, you got it? All right, so everyone's ready. Now we are dipping into 4.2. That was 4.1. That's why I'm not wasting time on there. Okay, 4.2. These are properties of inequalities. I'm jumping right into just examples. We're not looking in the book yet at the examples. We're just looking at examples. Yeah, we're just doing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Examples. Remember me telling you intruder alert? Watch this. X plus 7 is less than 8. So how would I solve this one, Matthew?
Add x to 7.
We can't add a letter and a number. What we're trying to do is isolate the variable. We want to find out what x is.
Oh, so subtract 7 and put it on the other side.
That's right. Subtract 7 on both sides. Very good. Intruder alert. We do the opposite. Any questions yet? All right. So I'm left with x is less than 1. So there's my answer. Now, if we were to graph it, and you are doing this on your paper. Valeria, do you have this written down? Is this going to be a closed or open circle? Open, very good, because this is saying x can be any number less than 1. So where would I put the open circle? Over the 1. And if x can be any number less than 1, which direction? It'd go this way. Very good. And again, you can say, well, what number is less than 1? Well, 0, -1, etc. Again, ask yourself those questions and make sure your arrow goes that direction. Good job. See, this is what today's going to be. I figured you ought to enjoy this. Kind of, sort of. It's a good Monday kind of thing. Any questions so far? All right, let's do another one. How about x minus 5 is not equal to 3? Who would like to do this one? Valeria's waving at me. Okay, Miranda, you can do the next one. So, Valeria, how do I do this? Huh? Okay, Miranda, how do I do? I'll save a hard one for you.
Okay.
Do what? That's right. So we're isolating the variable. We're going to add 5 to both sides. We're adding 5 again because this is minus. So then x does not equal what? 8. And by the way, you're going to see my line here goes in different directions. I'm sure that's a big no-no to some math teachers. I just get confused sometimes. Just ignore it.
I mean, does it mean different things?
No, it does not.
What do they care so much?
I don't know. Okay, so let's graph. It probably does mean something, so I should probably do it the right way. Okay, so let's see. Miranda, open or close circle. Open, and where do I put it? Over the 8. In which direction do I do my arrows? Both ways, because it's covering everything but 8. Any questions? Cool. All right. Another example. -0.6. Oh yeah, here comes some decimals. Is less than or equal to x minus 0.4. Valeria, I'm talking you through it, girl. I got you. So Valeria, let's take a look at this. Once you have it written down,
Yeah.
okay, what do I need to move first?
0.4
That's right. How do I move it?
and 0.4.
She's correct, because it's minus 0.4. We're going to add 0.4 on both sides. That cancels out. And basically, this is a negative, so we're subtracting, and we're going to keep the sign of the largest. So what is, it's going to be a negative. You're correct. It's negative 0.2. Less than or equal to x. Good job. See, Miranda, that wasn't so bad. Okay, now, notice the x is on the other side. On your homework, IXL, everywhere else, if you were to write it like this, it's okay. It's not wrong. Some people want the x on the other side. You can't just move x on the other side. You can, but look, it's saying x is greater than or equal to. So if you do that, you got to make sure that the sign is still facing the correct place. See how it's pointing to the negative 0.2? It should be in both of these, yes.
Isn't that supposed to be that flip thing?
No, that's only when you're dividing and multiplying by negatives. All right, so if I were to graph this, Valeria, do I have an open or closed circle? Close, and where do I put it over? That's right, 0.2. Now, this is saying x is greater than. See, x is greater than or equal to. So which direction? There you go. It would go this direction. See, if it's like this, someone may, you got to know what it's asking. You can't just assume, oh, well, it's pointing this direction, so I'm going to make it go there. No, don't do that. Any questions? Yes, Matthew. All right, hurry back because you're going to miss this next part. Does everyone have this down? All right. Blair, you got it? Okay, here we go. Here's what Miranda was talking about. Reverse the inequality symbol when you divide by, you got to have that word by in there. Divide by a negative or multiply by, not just because it's negative, but if you're dividing by a negative or multiply by a negative. That's when you do the switcheroo with the inequality sign. So once you all have that down, I forgot to set the timer. Franz, I'm sitting here. You're not. You gotta write stuff down. No, you're not. You're sitting there. That's word for word what I put down. All right, Miranda, you got everything? Okay, everyone got it? Sophia, do you have it? Okay, so here we go. Look at this. Negative 3x is less than negative 9. All right, how would I solve for x, Keith? All right, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. Notice, right here, we are dividing by a negative. Therefore, we're going to switch the inequality. It was less than, now it's going to be greater than. And a negative divided by a negative is what, Valeria? Very good. So we have positive 3. I'm not going to graph this one because I think we've, done enough graphing. So it's not because that 9 is negative, it's because it's being divided by a negative that we flip the sign and now it's x is greater than 3. Any questions? Y'all have it down? Sophia, you got it? Do you have any questions, Sophia? All right, let's look at another one. X divided by 12 is greater than negative 4. How would I solve that one, chap?
You multiply both sides by 12.
That's right. I'm multiplying both sides by 12 because we're dividing here. We got to do the opposite. Those cross out. Now, am I multiplying by a negative here?
No.
No. So the sign does not flip here. It stays the same. I get negative 48. This is positive. So inequality does not flip or change. Let y'all write that down. All right, open up your books to page 151, examples. All right, number 7. Negative 7x is greater than or equal to negative 14. Morgan, why don't you solve this one for us?
Well, first you would divide -7 to both sides. And since you're dividing by a negative, then you would flip the sign and move.
That's right.
And that leaves you with x is less than or equal to 2.
Positive 2. Very good. Because we flip it because of this. This is the negative. So then we flip. Any questions? How are y'all doing on this?
Good.
Okay. Let's see. I think you guys are good. Let me do a harder one.
Would you like to on B?
Do what?
On the B part?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, let's look at 17. Negative 3 4 times r is greater than 9 over 2. Okay, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, chat, you want to do this one?
Sure.
All right, so what do I need to do?
You need to divide -3 over 4 by itself and the 9 over 2.
Okay, so guys, keep in mind, negative 3/4 is being multiplied with this r, so the opposite is dividing. So that cancels out. Now remember the rule. When we're dividing, we write this fraction first. 9 over 2 is being divided by negative 3 over 4. What's the rule for dividing fractions, chap?
You flip it. You
Keep,
Yeah.
change, flip. So we keep the first one. What do we do to the division?
change to multiple.
And then what do we do to this fraction?
You flip it.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to pause. Does everyone see what I'm doing here? All right, now we multiply across. Can I do any cancellation?
Yes.
What?
You can cancel out both things. You can do the 9 and the 3 by 3.
And this becomes,
A 3.
and this becomes,
1
and then I can do the same here.
by 2.
This becomes,
-2.
yeah, negative 2, and this becomes.
1.
Now we multiply across.
And you get -6 over 1.
Which is,
-6.
all right. So what's my answer?
R is less than.
Oh, why is it less than?
Because you divided by a negative.
All right, we divided by a negative. So then we have to flip that sign. So R is less than -6. Any questions? Do y'all understand what to do? Y'all ready to be set free?
Yes.
Y'all are doing page 151. Numbers 2 through 24 even. That's 12. 13. Ooh, I don't want, yeah. 44, 46, and 50. Honors, you're doing 6 through 24 even. 34, 36, and 44, 46, and 50. This is due Tuesday. I'm planning a quiz on Friday. I am not 100% sure that it will happen, but prepare as if it will, okay? And this actually is 151 to 152. All right, lights, and get started. Matthew, if you need to come get this, the notes that you missed.